may just try and Nova you, snare you to get you into a deep freeze if they need to, right? Or that's what they want to do if they want to get you into a deep freeze. They Nova you and they stop you. So, like saying, this removes all roots and snare effects, which Nova is a snare. So, if you're a Boomkin, and you really, like, Boomkins, we know, are very squishy if you can sit on them and get them. So you don't want to be in that situation if you're a Boomkin. You want to stay away from that as long as possible. But also, being the support and good damage dealer. Now, the way this works in favor of Boomkins is, hey, I got something that's rooting me. They're either A, gonna CC my partner, or, just mess me up, or mess my partner up. Something's bad's gonna happen. This is a good spell to have, because you're not CC'd anymore.
Well, yeah, it saves
and you get
a
a speed
trinket in specific scenarios.
Right. But then, another thing is, you're stancing. The fact, again, you're wasting precious time on stancing. So that means, because when you get in cat form, you have a whole nother set of bars. You can't just, press 1 or 2, and then something will happen, as you would normally do in balance. You'd have to literally go back into Boomkin form and start doing the stuff again. So, this is only, I guess, would be good for, again, a Nova of some sort.
Well, no,
something
I
that
think
could hurt.
Great. In any scenario, almost barring stuns and stuff that you can't get out of with it, but any kind of bad scenario with a melee class or something, I think this is just the talent for people too stupid for macros. And even if you're not too stupid for macros, it's still better, because I'm assuming this all works in one global cooldown. So, you do that and you get the GTFO.
Right.
That's that's great. I don't have to find my form or find my hotkey for my form. It saves you a global cooldown. B, it saves you a hotkey spot, because you don't have to have your whole hotkey to go through the transformation, then hit your dash. You can just press that one button. Bam, done. So I think this is a much needed thing for Boomkin PvP. It's gonna help a lot. I think I would take it for Boomkins even without the whole
I think it'll be beneficial for PvE. I think it'll be beneficial for PvE too, because what's that last boss in Throne of the Four Winds? Not Throne of the Four Winds. Vortex Pinnacle, where if you do it on heroic at 85, he roots you, and you have to get into the triangle, or he pretty much 3-shots you.
He roots you.
He roots. He puts the lightning shackle thing, and you're locked down to the ground unless you're dispelled, or you have some form of dispel,
or you actually jumped.
Or you jump. I'm just saying, if you're
that's
rooted.
Impossible. That timer sucks. It's broken. I call BS.
Anyways, yes. So that form, if your healer's stupid enough, not spec into that, or I wouldn't say it's stupid enough, because some healers, if you run a 25-man, you don't you already have a couple other healers or a couple other DPS who can already dispel for you, so you don't really need to spec into that. I can understand that, but you got to take it. A healer or nobody else can dispel that crap. You have to. You got to think. Okay, this will help you perfectly. I'm not just pointing this out for.
I don't think it's a must-have thing.
It's not a must-have.
I see it as a perk. It's a little friendly perk to have. If you were doing that Sound Dragon boss in BWD Archimedes or whatever he is. You don't have to camp around in cat form just in case he targets you with the beam and you have to start running away. It'll give you that extra few seconds of DPSing somebody where you're gonna have to run soon, but you want to stay in your Boomkin form to
and
keep
you want
DPSing
to
them. Yeah, it lets you tunnel vision longer, basically.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think we've beaten the crap out of that. So how about actual feral cats?
Feral cats, right? I mean, if you're already in feral cat, it's not like it's gonna pop you out of form and put you back into feral cat. That's not how it works. It's just another.
It's another
free
dash.
It's another dash and trinket somewhat of what it won't take you off of a stun.
It's a half-ass trinket.
It's a half-ass trinket. It's roots and snares. That's
just
it.
Think of whatever you use your dash for now. Just think of that times 2. You get another one. You can use your dash more carelessly now because you have a backup. Okay.
I wouldn't say carelessly, but you have another sprint. Is what we're trying to say.
Now, with Guardians. Actual PvE tanking, I think not, because it takes you out of form, you're going to get killed.
Unless, like, the fight consists of, you're not taking damage and you have to focus on something else. Like, say, like, for scenarios that tanks, they don't have to be in tank form for that specific, time period, like 30 seconds, 20 seconds of, like, a fight. We haven't really gone through all the, the raid, so we haven't, we don't know what the fight mechanics are and how these benefit.
Yeah, we're just talking about your average fight, like your average tank and spank plus fire, something like that, because that's 80% of the fights.
Yeah, we don't know what the raids are next expansion, so we can't analyze that well. But we can tell you that if there is something where you're not DPSing, go ahead, use it. If you need to get somewhere very fast, it'll save you the global cooldowns and time of clicking your cat form, going into dash, unless you already have a macro. But then again, if you're rooted, there you go again. You get that. You now get, fast sprint with, taking out roots and snares. So if you need to get from point A to point B, that's really the only time you'll ever use Guardian for PvP.
Yeah. PvE, yeah. And then PvP, it's kind of obvious. I mean, yes, you want to move fast sometimes. It's a global cooldown saver. It's the same thing as regular Feral. We don't really need to talk about that.
Right.
And then Resto, yeah. I mean, getting places fast, I would use it a little bit. I don't think it would be my talent of choice, but we're getting to that kind of. I mean, yes, it is usable. Yes, it's going to help you get out of things. No, I don't think it's like the actual one that you're going to take out of the 3. But that's what we can do now because we're through that row. After analyzing the 3, what do you want? Which one would you spec into?
My personal opinion, no matter what spec I am, I would definitely want to displace Beast.
Yes.
It's a Vanish. Vanish is good for everything. So far, we've seen that the most beneficial out of all of them. Feline Swiftness, yes, it's 10% increase, but, you already have some form of increase, whether it's enchants or, like, currently, the tier, if you're in cat form, your movement speed is increased if you're outside. So you're already, travel form, runaway. But that requires stancing. But still, I mean, it's not that great.
Well, this is another recurring theme I've seen, especially like with the warrior talents that we noticed. There are a lot of like choices that you're going to make here, where you're either going to want to take the cooldown type thing that makes that could be like a game breaker in a specific scenario.
Right.
Like if you used at the correct time, it's going to be great. Or you can go with the talent that is just, it's passive, it's always active, and it's going to make you a little bit better the entire time.
Right, so you can take for like an entire duration, or like a very long living, bonus passive that helps you survive just for a little bit for the long time. Or you could have a cooldown that helps you survive a lot for a short amount of time. That's the main point we're trying to get. Like, it's decision breakers, just like that, where it's all preference on how you feel your gameplay is. If you can pop the cooldown, sure. If you can time the cooldown with other things, it's just if you can do it. If you can pull it off with using your other abilities. Yeah. That's how it is.
Personally, I usually like to go with the sustained passive abilities just to make myself better overall, but in this case, I don't think that the feline swiftness is good enough to be, like, I don't think it's that much of a benefit, especially that it only works in Feral. So I would spec into Displace or Beast no matter what.
Yeah. Honestly, I think a lot of people are going to be going into that because that seems the most beneficial. Hey, there are going to be people who go into the other ones, for their, again, preference. All of this is a lot of preference, and so it's just how you do the gameplay. It's really just all about that.
Okay, and specking. Great, we just finished our first tier, and it took like 3 videos. Yay! This is going to take a long time, people. Grab some popcorn.
We'll try and shorten it, summarize.
No, we won't. We're going to do this, and we're going to do it right.
No, we're going to do this, but we're going to
next row.
Do it fast. Okay, next row. Let's go. Nature Swiftness.
That was a previously existing talent in Resto, so I guess it's now you're forced to choose it. When activated, your next Cyclone, Entangling Roots, Healing Touch, Hibernate, Nourish, Rebirth, or Regrowth becomes instant, free, and castable in all forms. Whoa. Okay, the healing duration of the spell is increased by 50%. So this is like a super